everyone, it's Vicki from Minerva. I'm here today to share with you our beautiful range of Minerva Exclusive Loop Back French Terry fabrics. Now, in case you didn't know, we have recently started launching our own range of exclusive fabrics, and we work with designers from all over the world to find the most amazing prints with dressmaking in mind and bring them to life on fabric. And we have started launching with a viscose challis. We've also printed on a sweater knit, and Loop Back French Terry was the third base cloth that we launched, and it really is the most beautiful quality loop back. Now, in case you didn't know, Minerva is a family-run business. My mum and dad set up the company 25 years ago now. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year, which is crazy to think where that time has gone. So when they set up the company, I was a little girl and I used to go and help them, and I've grown up in, the world of Minerva, being surrounded by patterns and fabrics every day. And so it's really lovely for us as a company now to be at the point where we are launching our own fabrics that are exclusive to us. We have literally decades worth of experience in working with some of the best mills around the world, working with designers that we think are just incredible, amazing artists that make these wonderful designs that we can print on fabric, and it's like wearing a work of art. So yeah, it's really exciting for us to be curating our own range, and this base cloth we spent over 12 months finding the perfect loop back French Terry fabric, and we definitely think we've found it in this fabric. It's absolutely beautiful. So I thought in this video I would share with you the 15 prints that we have at the moment in this collection, and I've picked out a whole selection of patterns to give you some ideas on the sorts of fabrics that you can make with loop back French Terry. So just to give you a little bit of information about the fabric to start with. So French Terry is a knit fabric, and to look at it at the front of the fabric, it looks a bit like jersey, so a little bit like a t-shirt weight jersey. But on the back of the fabric, and hopefully you'll be able to see that on camera, it has little loops on the back, hence the name loop back. And what that does is it creates a little bit of texture on the back of the fabric, even though it still feels very smooth and soft. And it adds to the overall weight of the fabric. So it makes a fabric that's thicker than like a t-shirt jersey, but not as thick as, say, for example, a fleece back sweatshirt fabric. So it's somewhere in between the two. Now, our French Terry is made from 95% cotton and 5% lycra, which we think is a perfect blend. We love the fact that it's made from all cotton because it just feels beautiful. But the 5% lycra means that it has really great stretch recovery. So when you stretch it, it pings back into shape, like you can see there, and the other way just pings back into shape. So really great recovery. It's a very soft and stable knit. So what a stable knit means is that it's not very slippy and slidey. It's a well-behaved fabric. So if you are new to sewing with knits, then I think this is the perfect place to start. The other thing you need to watch with a fabric like this really is that it will have a tendency to curl at the edges, which is just the nature of a French Terry fabric. But a little tip with that is if you pin at a diagonal instead of straight, or straight that way, so if you pin at a diagonal, it will help stop the fabric from curling at the edges. Now, this fabric is 260 grams per square metre, and that just puts it in our medium to heavyweight category on the site. So it's just a touch heavier than what we would class as medium weight, and it's going into the medium/heavy category. It's certainly opaque is this fabric. It's definitely not going to need lining. Even on the lighter colourway backgrounds, you can't see through this fabric. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. And when you're sewing with this type of fabric, with it being a stretch knit, we would recommend using a ballpoint needle. And the reason for that is a ballpoint needle literally has like a little bowl on the tip of the needle. So instead of being super pointy like a regular needle would be, it's just rounded at the tip. And what that does is, it means that when you're actually sewing this fabric, it won't pierce a hole in the fabric. Instead, it finds a hole instead. So it will find a hole in between the knitted threads that make up this fabric. And what that does is, it means that if you used a regular needle, for example, and you pierce a hole on a knitted fabric, there might be a tendency for it then to unravel, or just it's not going to completely unravel the fabric. You don't need to worry about that, but it's not going to give a smoother stitch, and it will just preserve the life of the fabric as much as possible if you use a ballpoint needle. And it's going to avoid things like puckered seams and skip stitches and things like that. So a ballpoint needle is going to give you the best results and make for the most easy sewing experience. Now this fabric, it has quite a little bit of structure, so you can see it does drape to some extent, but because it's cotton it certainly holds its shape. Now compared to our sweater knit fabrics in our Minerva Exclusive range, that definitely is a soft and drapey jersey, or a drapey knit rather. So this one is a little bit different to that in that it definitely holds its shape more than our sweater knits. It's Ecotech certified, and we've worked with this mill for over a decade at least here at Minerva. We've worked with them for a long time, and they're a fantastic mill to work with. They're family owned as well, and yeah, we love working with this mill. They do the most beautiful base cloths, and we were so happy with the quality of this fabric. With it being a cotton fibre, we would suggest allowing 5% for shrinkage, and we would definitely, as always, recommend pre-washing first. Now we've pre-washed this and not found much shrinkage at all, but allow yourself 5% to be on the safe side. To make the fabric last as long as possible, you would want to be washing this at 30 degrees and allowing it to air dry flat. Those are the manufacturer's instructions, but we've washed this on a 40-degree wash and put it in the tumble dryer just like the one I'm wearing, and it comes out absolutely fine. But if you're going to change from the manufacturer's instructions, we'd always recommend doing a test sample first, and always pre-wash, because then you know that once you've sewn the garment up and made it, there's not going to be any surprises, and it's not going to shrink and then it'll be too small for you to wear or anything like that. So it just makes sure that the fabric is going to be as you expect once the garment's made up. So in terms of the things that you can make with this sort of fabric, there's loads of things you can make. With it being a soft, stable, quite weighty knit fabric, it's perfect for things like hoodies, sweatshirts, even thicker like t-shirt tops. You can even make little skirts, jumper dresses, even things like joggers, even things like dungarees. There's patterns that are suitable for knit dungarees, so the weight of this is ideal for that. Just so many things you could make. So let's take a look at the 15 designs I've got to share with you first, and then we'll take a look at a huge selection of patterns I've got to share with you to give you loads of ideas on what you can make. So we'll quickly run through all the prints and then we'll get to the patterns. So this first one is this absolutely beautiful boudoir bouquet print. Love the name of this design. This has been our most popular print so far, and it's so opulent and rich. It almost looks like velvet. Such a clever design by the designer. It just exudes richness and that velvet almost look. It's absolutely beautiful. Such gorgeous colours in that one. The next one I've got to share with you, so this is a much bigger scale print. I think this is the largest scale print we have in this collection, and this is called Parading Palms. Absolutely beautiful colours in this one, very autumnal. Just my mum's colour palette this. She loves this fabric, and yeah, it's got warm browns, creams, beiges, that deep rich navy blue, and the black and the cream and that fabulous mustard colour. Absolutely gorgeous. The next one, this is quite a fun design. So this one's called Tiger Paradise. And this one is predominantly green, which you can see from the leaves in the back, comes from the leaves in the background. So it's quite a deep, rich green that has flashes of brighter colours in there that really make it pop. And then if you look closely, you'll see that hidden in the leaves are these tigers in that classic orangey colour, and they really pop against the background. I think that's such a gorgeous print. Really, really eye-catching. The next one we have is called Serene Meadow. Now this is quite understated and soft, very pretty. So this is a floral print. Those colours are just absolutely, they're just so pretty. It's coral pinks, warm sands, a dusky, very like a dark mint green, a light mint green, the soft pastel blue, all on that very soft, sort of, it's between a cream and a pastel pink, that background, like a blush colour. Very, very soft, very, very pretty. The next one we have is called Rugged Trail, and this is, I see this as a mix between an animal print and an abstract print. So it's like a stylised animal print. It's a black background with these shades of gold and beige and cream, so like toffee coloured tones. Really, really lovely design, that one. I love the black background. I think it really makes the print pop. The next one, which is one I'm actually wearing, so this is called Two Can Play, and what I'm wearing is the Megan Nielsen Jara sweater. I chose on this one to go for the shaped hem at the bottom, which you might be able to see there. Really lovely detail, that, I think, on the hem. I didn't actually add a band or any detail onto the sleeves. I've just gone for straight sleeves because I like to wear them rolled up when I wear this kind of top. And then I went for the funnel neckline, which yeah, I really like on this pattern. That's my favourite view. And I didn't do any pattern matching at all. If you know me, I'm not a big one for doing loads of head scratching pattern matching, but I do think on this print you really want to think about the placement of the design, which I did, you know, on the sleeves and the back, the front. The funnel I did actually just cut out from a small piece that I had left. But you know, it's the balance of the print, and like I really wanted to make sure that, you know, the palm tree design was central there with the toucan here, and it just looks balanced, I think. So here's the design on the fabric held out. Like I say, it's called Two Can Play. It's got those lovely toucan birds, big palm trees, and all those graphic geometric shapes in the background in black and cream. It's a definite statement fabric, but more subtle in terms of colour. Really, really love that one. Obviously it's one of my favourites because I've made something in it already. The next one is called Animal Song, and this is a really lovely, again, play on an animal print, and you can see the colours in this are so warm, really, really lovely. It's got like a camely brown coloured base colour in the background with all these beautiful shades, and it's that khaki green in the design with that hint of rust and that almost duck egg blue. It's such an unusual colour combination, and we fell in love with this design. We also do this in our viscose chalet and our sweater knit. It's been really popular, this one. I think it's just beautiful. A really lovely one for autumn, winter, spring as well. The colours are a little bit more subdued and soft. Really, really lovely, that one. Then for something completely different, this is our zebra collage print, and this is just such a fun design. Look at this one. All these different like sort of wiggly stripes with all different patterns in them. Stripes and spots and dashes and checks and all different patterns in the stripes. And then the zebras in black and white that really pop against that background. So I see this as like an abstract landscape print with animals, you know, so it's almost like a stylised version of, you know, looking out into the wilderness. And oh, I think it's absolutely wonderful. Again, we love these colours. Absolutely gorgeous, that one. Next up we have another really fun print, really colourful print, and this one is called Dancing Lights, which I think you'll see why. How pretty is that? Oh, I love this print. This might have to be the next one I sew in, I think. I haven't quite decided yet, but oh, I love this design. It's a rich deep blue or a light navy in the background with all these flashes of colour all over the print. I do think this is great for children's wear, this one, but you know, I think, you know, for those young at heart as well, absolutely this is a gorgeous print. I love the richness of that blue in the background as well. It really sets off all those colours but still keeps it nice and soft. Really gorgeous design, that one. Next up, this one is called Brushwork Print. Now this is quite a classic animal design, but what makes it a little bit different is the scale of the print. And as you can see, the colours, there's literally 3 colours in this print. The camel colour in the background, and then the cream and the black of the animal print. I just think it's beautiful. So many things I've seen made in this already on the Minerva website from the community, and everything just looks fabulous in this design. Such a wearable print as well. Great to team, you know, with black tights and boots, or you know, a black polo neck or something like that. Just really, really lovely. The next one, this has been another really popular design. This one's called Urban Cheetah. I love this one. So this is another animal print, but this time you can see the scale is quite a bit smaller than the last one. And what I love about this fabric, one, it's the colour combination. So it's this beautiful greeny, tealy, petrol colour in the background with the black and the shot of candy pink, which is just, it's the perfect pink to team with that background colour. But what I love about this fabric is, if I hold it up close, maybe you'll be able to see it, is the background greeny colour is not a flat colour. It looks like it has a woven texture, but it doesn't. You know, it's a very smooth finish knit fabric, but it's the way the print has been designed, it gives it the look of a texture. And it's just so unusual and just adds, you know, the extra something to the fabric that just makes it really special. Yeah, I absolutely love that one. Next we have our Savannah Daisy print, and this one, it's a really warm, rich, almost mahogany coloured brown. Now some people when they look at this print see flowers, and some people when they look at it see animal prints, which it was really interesting when we were, you know, deciding on all the prints here in the Minerva offices to launch this collection. And when I look at this, I see an animal print, but so many people saw a floral design, so we decided to go with Savannah Daisy as the name. And yeah, I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Again, just 3 colours in this print, so colour-wise, quite a simple colour palette, but this rich mahogany, almost ginger brown colour almost in the background with black, and then this pop of like almost mustardy yellow. It's just gorgeous. Again, a great one I think for during autumn, winter and spring. Those, you know, sort of warmer, deep, rich colour tones. Absolutely lovely. Then we have this one has been, since we launched this on Viscose Chalice, this has been one of our top sellers. This one is called Jungle Dreamer, and if you've been on the Minerva site in the last few months, I'm sure you'll have seen somebody make something in any of the base cloths that we have with this print on. What an amazing design this is. That beautiful bluey tealy colour in the background. The animals on there in that beautiful mustardy rust colour. There's just so much detail in that print. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Fantastic scale as well. You know, it's a big enough scale to be able to really see the details, but not too big that you're gonna have to worry too much about pattern match, you know, a pattern placement. Just a really beautiful pattern, that one. I'm not surprised it's been as popular as it has. It's just lovely. Then the next, so this is the second to last print. Now this one is called Scattered Fronds, another of my favourites, and I've actually got, so this is a top that I made in this fabric to show you. So this is another Megan Nielsen Jara sweater. It still has the funnel neck, I still did just a plain sleeve on this one, but what's different on this one is I actually added a band at the bottom, which is a little bit different to the pattern actually, so it's a slight hack on the pattern. But what I did is I made, I think it was View D, which is the cropped one, because I originally just wanted a straight hem. But I didn't want a crop top because you know, I prefer, if anything, I prefer more like a tunic length or a longer top. So I added 5 inches to the length, and I was really annoyed with myself because I still hadn't added enough length when it came to it. I tried it on and I thought, oh no, it's just still a little bit too short. So I was talking to my mum about it, and she was saying, well, why don't you add a band? And for me, I'm not, for me personally, adding a band that draws in isn't the sort of style I generally wear. So we said, well, what about a band that doesn't draw in? So it's not, you know, made of rib fabric or anything. It's made in the same fabric as the top, and it just hangs straight. And I actually really, really love it. Because it's a band, so it's obviously 2 layers of the fabric, it almost adds a weight to the garment as well. And yeah, I really, really love it. Obviously, you know, it's one of my favourite designs, this one, called Scattered Fronds. It's brilliant, I think, for a sweater. I've worn it loads. It's just such a gorgeous print, beautiful colours. Oh, I love this one. And then the last print to share with you, so this is the 15th one in the collection. So this one is called Peony Dusk. I'll bring that forward. Again, this is one that I think some people see as an animal print and other people see as a floral. It's certainly a very stylised, abstract version of either, but we just love the colours in this. It's a rich, deep blue background with a mustard, a really bright mint, a peach, a forest green, a brighter green, all these different colours, that such an unusual combination of colours, but it works so well. And I love the scale of this print. I love that it's on that deep rich background that throws the colours out. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So that's all 15 fabrics. So now let's have a look at patterns. And I've got a whole stack here of different patterns to share with you, to give you lots of ideas on all different styles of garments you can make, but also, you know, specific patterns. So, you know, if you're wanting to sew in any of these fabrics and you just need some ideas on what patterns you could make, hopefully I'll be able to give you some really good ones. So obviously one would be the Megan Nielsen Jara, like what I'm wearing. That turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. Any view on the pattern would be gorgeous. But the first pattern I've got here is the Choke and Notch Patterns Page Hoodie. So this is a hoodie with a drawstring round the hood, and it has different options. So you have a full length sleeve or a shorter length sleeve. You can draw it in at the waist, or you can add a band. And it has a raglan sleeve, which a lot of people like those because it's nice. It's a nice sleeve option to be able to achieve a good fit, and they're nice and easy to sew. So yeah, that would be fantastic in any of the prints. The next one we have, so again, that was the Megan Nielsen Jara sweater, which, like I say, loads of different options on the pattern. Do have a good look at that pattern if you haven't done, because it's a really good one. The one with the tie option at the side is really lovely as well, actually. And I know my mum is thinking of making that, but she's talking about making a lengthened version, so it's into a dress. So the idea is that it would be like a sweater jumper dress that would where the knot detail would be at the bottom of the hem, so it would draw it in and almost create like a little bit of a cocoon shape almost. So yeah, she's hopefully going to be sewing that soon. I think that's next on her to sew list. But yeah, fantastic pattern, loads of options, would be great for any of the patterns. And we actually launched some kits very recently with this pattern. So if you would like some ideas on, you know, which were our top 5 fabric picks for it, and which ribbons and all the notions and things that you need, you can actually buy those as kits on Minerva as well. So if you're somebody that likes just to be able to, you know, buy with one click and know you've got everything you need for any view in any size, we have those kits there on Minerva as well. So the next pattern is from Sew Girl, and this is the Maisie sweater dress and top. and I just think this is a fantastic pattern for loop back French terry fabrics. You have loads of options in the pattern, so there's a hood option, there's a funnel neck, again raglan sleeves, there's different pockets, there's a top length or a dress length, and I think you could just pick the views that you would like, the options you would like from both views and make, you know, the perfect pattern for you. Really good pattern, that one. Next up, this is an oldie but a goodie. It's been going for years, this pattern, and it's always one of our best sellers every year, and that is the New Look 6298, and this is an easy pattern, so if you're new to sewing to knit with knits, this could be a really good one. And it's quite a simple jumper dress. So there's a V-neck option and a round neck option that both have a band finish, which I think is lovely done in French terry. It has pockets on the front. There's an option that has a band round the bottom or just a simple plain hem. Yeah, very simple but really, really lovely pattern, that one. And yeah, again, it would be lovely in any of the prints. Certainly some of those larger scale ones as well, I think will be lovely in that. Another one we had to mention this pattern, so this is the Tilly and the Buttons Cocoa dress or top. Absolutely made for French terry. The structure of that fabric and the weight of it will hold the shape, that A-line shape. The neckline option, either one you go for, just either the simple wide neckline or the one with the funnel neck, either would be really lovely. Perfect pattern to team with a French terry, that one. So the next pattern I've got is the named Inari dress and crop tee. So this one you can make in cotton jerseys as well. I've seen that made by lots of people in the Minerva community, but it does recommend a heavy or a medium or a medium to heavyweight knit fabric, which is what our French terry is. So I think it will be perfect for this pattern. It will hold the shape of that dress. It's quite a boxy, straight fitting style. There's a short sleeve that has like a cuff turn up detail and a longer sleeve that's just a simple normal hem, round neckline, and I love on the dress version it has a high-low hem, so it's higher at the front, longer at the back, and then it has a slit detail at either side, and I just think that's a really simple detail but really effective. And again, it would work in any of our French terries, and it would really show off a larger scale print as well. Next up we have the Sew Over It heather dress. Now this is aimed at confident beginners, so this would be a good one if you're relatively new to sewing or new to sewing knits. Really lovely style, this one. Round neckline, long sleeve, beautiful pockets that when you look at the line drawing, you'll be able to see the seam details that come down the front and then curve, and where they curve, that is where the pocket opening is. Really love it, quite simple pattern. I think it's one of those dresses, this one, that would feel like secret pyjamas, you know, really comfortable, casual dress, but that looks really smart as well. So next up we have a menswear pattern from Thread Theory, and this is the Finlace and Sweater. Now you have a hooded option and a non-hooded option with this, and it has a band round the waist, around the cuffs. There's an option for a patch pocket on the front. The version 1 has a really lovely collar detail. Yeah, really nice pattern, that one, and again would work fantastically well in any of the French terries. Next up we have a really lovely cardigan pattern. So this is from Style Arc. Now this is a hooded cardigan with pockets on the front, and it has a band detail around the bottom of the cardigan, around the cuffs, and then all around the front and around the hood, which is, it's a really lovely finish, I think. Just a simple one button closure. For me, I think made in a French terry like this, it would be really comfortable to wear, and it would be one of those pieces that I think you'd probably reach for again and again and again, just to wear as an extra layer, you know, just in those times when, you know, you don't necessarily need your full coat, but you just want an extra layer to be able to wear over something else. And yeah, in any of the prints, again, that would be really lovely. So the next pattern is the Very Easy Vogue 8952, and this is definitely one of my favourite patterns and one of my mum's favourite patterns. and it's a knit top pattern that has 3 different views on the pattern, and all of them would be perfect for French terry. Now view A is a raglan sleeve, which again really a lot of people like a raglan sleeve. Has a simple neckband, which I think is a lovely finish for a neckband in a loop back. It has full length sleeves, and what I love about this pattern is that it's fitted at the top, but then from the waist and the hips it's quite a loose fit, so it sort of the shape of it goes out and sort of skims over you, so it's really comfortable top to wear. View B, now this is the one I want to make next in a French terry. I love that big cowl neckline, and it would hang and sit so well in the French terry fabric. This one's a set-in sleeve this time, and again that same shape that's a little bit fitted at the top and then looser at the bottom, which I really love. And then view C, that's the simplest pattern. It's the simplest option rather on this pattern. It's got a simple turnover neckline. It is quite a wide neckline is that one, so if that's not something you like, then you could always just make it, bring the neckline up a touch. It has a high-low hem, which is a really lovely option on that view I think, and a 3/4 length sleeve. It's literally 2 pattern pieces to make that pattern, to make view C. One of the simplest knit patterns I've ever made, really wearable. It's great in a French terry fabric or even something as soft and silky as a viscose jersey. Just a fantastic pattern all round, that one. Next up we have the Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweater dress and sweatshirt. And I think if you're looking for a sweater dress or a sweatshirt pattern for a French terry fabric, then you really can't go wrong with the Billy. My mum's made this and it's really, really lovely. She really rates this pattern. She loves the pockets on there, and then there's 2 different sleeve options. So you have a regular like plain sleeve that comes into a cuff detail, or you have this big balloon sleeve that has a puff detail at the top and it draws into a cuff at the wrist. Really lovely detail. So whichever option you decided to go for, whether that's the sweatshirt or the sweater dress, in any of the prints in the French terry, that would just be absolutely gorgeous, and you can have fun picking the rib to either match or contrast with the fabric. Yeah, really lovely pattern, that one. And the last pattern I've got to share with you, so this is the Brooklyn knit top. Now this is, in a way, it's a little bit similar to the Jara version that I saw that was a hack of the original pattern, the one that I shared with you earlier, because this one, it's a boxy kind of style sweatshirt with a band at the bottom. So as I added the band onto the Jara to make mine, this already has that sort of straight band detail. It has pockets as well, which I think is a great addition, cuff details around the wrists, and then the star of the show on this pattern for me is that beautiful, really big funnel detail at the neckline that sits a little bit slouchy, that would be beautiful in a French terry fabric. That would sit really, really well, and yeah, I just think that will be the perfect pattern combination if you love that kind of style of sweater with those pockets. Absolute winner. So that's all the patterns I had to share with you today. So I really hope you enjoyed going through those with me, and all the fabrics of course. Let me know in the comments below which was your favourite fabric and which was your favourite pattern. Have I inspired you to sew with any of these fabrics or patterns? I'd love to hear from you, and yeah, let me know your favourite in the comments. As always on these videos, we will tag all the products that I mentioned below, so all the patterns and fabrics, you'll be able to click on those links and that will take you to the product pages on Minerva with all the details, and you'll be able to see on those product pages as well all the things that sewists in the Minerva community have been making and posting using these fabrics and patterns. So it's a really great place to get loads of inspiration and loads of pattern ideas for what you can make using these fabrics. And it's also just great to see the patterns made up and being worn by different people, you know, of different sizes and shapes, in all different fabrics, in prints, in plains. You know, it gives you a really good idea of what that pattern will look like on different people. I hope you enjoyed watching today and taking a look at all those fabrics and patterns with me. I really enjoyed chatting through them all with you. So thank you very much for watching today, and I'll be back again soon with another video.